Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Matsyaavatar, God, Srimad Narayana taking the form of a divine fish. Srimad Narayana took many forms or assumed manifestations in order to protect Vedas, seers, holy men, and cows, and also herbals and plants, as and when it was necessary for the Lord to do so. The Lord's avatar as a fish was to retrieve the stolen Vedas from Danava, Hayagriva, but also to save the Saptarishis, cows, herbals, as well as a king by name Satyavrata, who was a royal sage because of his severe austerities with intake of only water for long time. Skanda 8 chapter 24 says, Mugato Nirsidan Vedan Hayagrivo Antike Harat Nyatva Tat Danavendrasya Hayagrivasya Chestidam Dathara Chapari Rubam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha. So this says Bhagavan took the Matsyaavatar or the form of a fish in order to retrieve Vedas from Hayagriva. It may be remembered that Hayagriva and other Danavas, as sons of Danu, had all Rajasic traits by sheer destiny. Towards the end of the previous Kalpa, that is prior to our present Shivadavara Kalpa, with the approach of a Pralaya or a Naimittika Pralaya, that marked the end of a day and the beginning of a night for Lord Brahma, the Creator, when he goes to sleep. The utterances of Vedas ever on his lips were literally stolen in the sense of being grasped fully by the Danava chief Hayagriva, the one with a horse's head, and hiding himself in a subterranean realm under the ocean. Vedas with the demons being unsafe and spelled doom, the all-knowing Almighty Srimad Narayana had to take the form of a fish in order to kill the demon, retrieve the lost Vedas, and restore the same back to Lord Brahma, the Creator, just he was waking up after his one night. That is, after a period of 1000 cycles of each of the four yugas, namely Krita or Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and then the Kali Yuga. Satyavrata, the king of Dravidiya region, was wholly devoted to Srimad Narayana, observing severe austerity, surviving only on water. One day he was offering ablutions, that is part of Tarpan, in the Kritamala river, that is the Vaigai river in Madurai. It happened that Lord Srimad Narayana appeared as a tiny golden fish in his cupped palms, along with the water during such ablution. And when the king was about to pour the water along with the fish to the river, the royal Rishi could hear a voice from the mysterious golden fish, pleading the king, who is a protector of men and creatures, not to cast it back to the river as it would not be safe there. Here must be noted that God in the form of a tiny golden fish was reminding the king of a king's duty to protect even the smallest of creatures. all of which are but the creation of the Almighty and who is omnipresent in all living beings. The king put the tiny fish into the kamandalu, that is the pot of wood or coconut, usually carried on such occasions. The tiny fish started growing in size within hours. It so happened that the king had to shift it from the kamandalu to a pitcher, but the fish outsized the vessel. Then he had to find it a shelter in a well, then to a lake, and finally at an expansive lake. But every time the fish outgrew and was oversized for even that expansive lake. Now, the Raja Rishi wanted to take the mysterious fish to the ocean. It was at that time that the royal sage heard a voice that even in the ocean it will be unsafe because of alligators. And at that time the fish was so large, several hundred yojanas or miles long. Now Satyavrata realized that it could not be none other than Srimad Narayana, whom he has been worshipping all through, and his spirituality made him realize about the fish being a manifestation of the Almighty Himself. The voice said that there would be a pralaya on the seventh day since then, and that would submerge all the three worlds, including the heavens, that is Bhuloka, Swarloka, and the intermediate region of Bhuvarloka. Bhagavan also said that the king must wait by the seaside, taking with him animals such as cow, seeds and annual plants and herbals, and on the said seventh day, a huge boat would appear near the shore. Further, the Lord said that He Himself would appear as the fish, to whose horn the king must fasten the boat, using the serpent Vasuki to tie the boat to the horn of the fish in order to safely keep the boat afloat. Incidentally, Vasuki the serpent being used as a rope also happened in Kurmavatar for the churning of the Mount Mandara to obtain nectar from Palari or the ocean of milk. Satyavrata, being fully devoted and being blessed by the appearance of God as a fish, meditated on the seashore, sitting on Darbha grass or the Kusha grass with its pointed end towards east and facing northeast. It may be remembered that the pointed end will face south only during Tarpan Shraddha and such other rites and occasions. Suddenly, there were heavy rains and the sea level started rising, inundating the earth. The huge boat appeared. The king, along with animals and plants, boarded the boat and was surrounded by the Saptarishis. as mentioned by the Lord. The darkness at that hour was dispelled by the effulgence of the seers, who advised the king to meditate on the Almighty. The king prayed and glorified the Lord as the one who creates, preserves, and destroys. The all-pervading Brahma, the supreme controller. The Lord appeared as the divine golden fish that was now 1 lakh yojanas or 8 lakh miles in extent. And the king tied Vasuki to the horn of the fish. It was during the period of the Pralaya that Lord Srimad Narayana imparted the knowledge of Vedas to Satyavrata, on whom he had a special to whom he wanted to impart such a knowledge as a reward for his everlasting penance and devotedness. The Lord discoursed on yoga, that is Sankhya Yoga, Prakriti, matter, and the way to realize the inner self as distinct from one's body. This discourse is what is known as the Matsyaapurana. The enlightened King Satyavrata was blessed by Srimad Narayana to become a Manu in the next Kalpa, that is, in the Svedavaraga Kalpa, our present Kalpa. Thus, the same Satyavrata was reborn as the son of Vivaswan, by name Shraddha, who became the present and seventh Manu or Vaivasana Manu. It will be remembered that Vivaswan was the first son of Aditi, who was the wife of Kashyapa. Towards the end of the Pralaya, lasting the same period as Brahma's daytime, or the time span of 1000 cycles of the 4 yugas as already mentioned, the Lord in Matsya form killed the Danava Haigriva and restored the lost Vedas to Lord Brahma just at the dawn of the new Kalpa, that is, the present Kalpa, and which was the beginning of morning time for Brahma to start of his creation process. Adita Pralayabhadya Atita Pralayabhaya Uttitaya sa Vedase Hatto Avswaram Hayagrivam Vedan Pratyaharadharihi. Now, there is a need in this context to look at these names of Hayagriva and also Hayashirsha, both meaning the one with a horse head. Hayashirsha has been mentioned by Lord Brahma himself to Narada as a manifestation of Srimad Narayana, and Hayashirsha meant Veda personified. Bhagavan Hayashirsha Sato Babuvuru Sadi Babuvur Rasi Virasadi Sosto Asyanastha. Bhagavan had taken this Hayashirsha form and had actually killed a demon by name Madhu, who, like Haigriva, had stolen the Vedas and hidden in the subterranean realm of Sutala. Vedan Yugande Tamasa Tiraskritan Rasataladyo Nuturanga Vigraha. So this is the reference in Skanda 5, chapter 18, to the retrieval of Vedas from Rasatala by killing Madhu by God in the form of High Shirsha. So, both High Shirsha and High Griva names, but one refers to the Almighty's manifestation, another refers to a Danava chief with tamasic or rashasic traits. It may be worth mentioning here that in Vaishnava temples such as Sri Ahobala Mutt, there are deities of Sri Lakshmi Narasimha, Sri Lakshmi Narayana, Sri Lakshmi Hayagriva. And the prayer goes like this. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspadikagritim adharam sarva vidyanam Hayagrivam upasmahe. So Hayagriva here, or High Shirsha, is the reporters of Vedas and the treasure of knowledge. Narayana, 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 Yoga Samasta, Sukhino Bhavantu. Narayana, Akila Guru, Bhagavan Namaste.